Yo, what up? What up? How's it going, everybody? How's it going? It's your boy Sappy. We are back. It's been too long, man. It's been too long. I wanted to stream last week, but I had some stuff come up, so that I was trying to sort that out. But I'm back, dude. We're so back. The West is back. Millions must be born. Millions must survive. Millions must be born. And it is a good Wednesday, man. It's a good Wednesday. I will admit, my actual birthday is on Friday, March 6th. I was born March 6th, but as we know, Wednesday is a stream day. So I wanted to make sure I got the stream in because Friday I'm going to be busy with family stuff and all that. I won't have time to stream. So I wanted to make sure that I got this in. And I wanted to do the Buddhism stream and stuff like that, but I need to do that probably next week on Rumble, just because the copyright rules on this, like, we're going to be like 5 minutes in the documentary and it's going to cut it. So that won't be fun, but it will be fun when we do it next week, just live on Rumble. But for today, we're just going to hang out on YouTube, man. We're going to hang out on YouTube. We're going to have a good time, catch up on stuff. It's been too long. Let's see here, bro. My analytics. Hell yeah, dude. That's super good. W Sappy, happy birthday and God bless. Hey, God bless you too, Enthusiasta. It's good to see you, man. Is Unk 37 years old now? I would say so. Okay, listen, as a joke, I say 25 is Unk, but it's like, dude, being young is about being young at heart. You know what I mean? As an old sap has learned, as an old sappy has learned, being young is all about your heart. Because I'll tell you, man, there are some old ass 21-year-olds. And what I mean is, like, I've met dudes who are literally like 21 years old, and their mindset and the way that they think, not in a good way, is like 60, right? They're like, man, I remember back in high school, things were so cool. And now you're fucking 21, bro. You're 21. What are you talking about back in my day? Dude, it's still the day. It is still the day. And as far as I'm concerned, it's still the day. I mean, I really do think, this is just my personal kind of opinion, but like, I don't even think that I've produced the best content yet. I really think for me, it's going to be like a Sam Hyde situation where we just keep getting better and better and better. I learn more about recording. I learn more about like making videos and all that kind of stuff. So I don't even feel like we've reached peak content yet. I don't even feel like I've done peak content yet. It's like, until I like collab with the big guys, it's like, we're not done yet, bro. We're not done yet. We need to be able to operate at full capacity and be somebody who is just making great content, right? We haven't even hit peak sap yet. So I'm going to keep up the collabs. I'm going to keep up the content. I will eventually publish the r/Catholicism video. Maybe I'll even do it this week or something. I'll figure out. Maybe I can just like lock in Sunday or something and figure it out. I know I push it off and off and off and off again. I'm going to have to do like some like Charlie type recording because, dude, I fucking hate video editing. I just hate it so much. It's not fun. I just am not like built for it. But you know what? We're going to lock in and we're just going to learn. That's what we're going to do. We're going to learn. We're going to, be able to learn how to edit videos and stuff like that. I'm going to be real. It's probably going to be rough the first few times going around, but we will make sure that I give you guys peak content because that's what we're all about. We're all about peak. No more cringe LARPy stuff. No more, half capacity. It's full out from here. Somebody said that I lost weight. I probably have because I have been working 3 weeks consistently every single day, working out. Finally, because before I was just like walking, and walking's very good. If you want to lose weight and stuff like that, definitely walk. And I still am. But I realized, coming up on my 25-year-old birthday, right? Like, if I didn't lock in now, I never would. And so I became very adamant about wanting to become better, wanting to, lock in even more, wanting to not only like get to like base zero, but like be somebody who ascends, right? Somebody who, goes above and beyond, right? Because we're building things. And I have been doing a lot of IRL stuff in Colorado, dude. If you knew the IRL stuff I've been doing, it's crazy. Like it's actually kind of impressive stuff. Like moving and shaking in politics and building infrastructure out here and stuff like that. It's really good stuff. Nothing LARPy, nothing like, PF type stuff, right? Because I hate that shit. You guys know that I do. But really just sort of like building community out here and trying to get our guys in politics, trying to get us to be a part of the local GOP and figuring all that stuff out in the best way. So that's been really, really cool. I've been working behind the scenes because, of course, I can't walk. If I walk up to the Capitol building, they're going to clock me in a New York minute. But I can be in the shadows. I can be the dark guy in the shadows, right? I can be the dark guy in the shadows who's influencing everything. I'm the puppet master. I'm the manipulator. And I've got a big birthday party this Saturday with all the boys, so that's going to be really, really fun. I'm very excited for that. I love this state so much, man. That's the one like GOP red, which we'll get into all that, right? We'll get into all that because Nick said some stuff that we need to get into that content because that's Kino. But I've never liked the GOP mentality of like, let me uproot this awesome state I live in and go live in Oklahoma. Yeah, let me uproot my life here. I've grown up here. I've grown up here in Colorado and stuff like that. I've been here all my life, born and raised, don't know any other state. Yeah, you know what would be awesome? Let me move to the middle of nowhere. Let me move to the middle of nowhere. Like, that is such a loser mentality. I'm sorry. Like, look, I get it if like you have to do it for work or what, stuff happens, life happens. I totally get it. But it's one of those things where it's like, I refuse to leave my state, bro. Like, the only way I'm leaving Colorado is in a body bag. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not trying to diss on anyone from Oklahoma or whatever, but it's like all these like red pill homestead people who like want you to go like move out in the middle of Oklahoma or some like plain state that's like kind of boring and nothing happens there. Like, you're not going to shift culture I'm trying to think of like, you're not going to shift the culture in the middle of like Kansas. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I love my boys in Kansas. I have family out in Kansas and stuff like that. Not trying to diss on Kansas, but it's like we have to be in the epicenter of life, right? For the Midwest, it's Denver. That's where everything goes on. And I'm very active in the Springs as well. I got to be there, right? I got to be there. I got to be in the midst of the fight. I can't, go retreat to like Kansas or some flyover state, right? Not because those states are bad, not because the people from those states are bad, but it's one of those things where if you want to make a longer term impact, you have to be in the middle of the action. And I think too many of our types just want to go like retreat somewhere and live on some homestead. That's all fine and well until they send drones to burn down your homestead and kill you and everyone you love and care about, right? I don't want that to happen, so I got to be in the middle of the fight. It's just like, you guys ever played Halo Reach, right? Back in the day? Oh my goodness, dude. Okay, I am Unk. Did you youngsters ever play Halo Reach back in the day? But everybody remembers Halo Reach. Halo Reach is such a good game, okay? Halo Reach Firefight. That's what we're in right now. I got my boys. We're doing 4-person co-op, and we're all in the middle of the firefight. That's what we got to do, man. That's what we got to do. We got to be in the middle of the firefight. And like I said, look, I'm not dissing on anyone living in those states. They're great states. I mean, there's some beautiful spots in Kansas. There's some beautiful spots in Oklahoma. There's great people there too. But it's one of those things where it's like, no more retreatism, man. If you're in LA, like, make LA Catholic and awesome, right? I'm not even like conservative. That's so like kitsch and gross. Make it Catholic, bro. Make it Catholic, make wherever you live Catholic, right? Convert people, lead people to the faith, make it right wing. Do whatever you need to do to like make it a place worth living, right? if you got to like, get your friends together, you got to hang out with people and stuff like that, like build community. I mean, that's the biggest thing too. It's like, even if you're not going to ever be integrated in politics, the least you can do is build community and build a place where like young guys feel like they can be themselves, right? I think that's the biggest thing for us, because we all like hang out online and do stuff, and that's great, but you have to build also that space IRL to be able to go and hang out with people. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a card shop near my gym and stuff like that actually looks pretty cool. I might stop in there. And I see there's people in there like all the time, right? There's always guys there. There's always dudes like playing like Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh or what have you. And, I'm not really into that culture. I mean, there's a reason why the Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments put in a thing about you have to be groomed. You have to be washed before you come and play in the tournament. But there is something to be said about, look at the way that like they form culture, right? Like there's a culture around the card shop. Like everybody is like hanging out there. Everybody's like friends there. Everybody is, a part of this larger community. And we have to do that for our guys too. Because I feel like a lot of our guys kind of retreat online and, you talk in group chats, you talk in voice chats or what have you. And don't get me wrong, you meet the best people, like some of your best friends online. But it's very lonely when you like turn off the computer and then you have like nothing, right? You don't have anyone to go to. You don't have anyone to turn to. You've just got nothing and nobody. And I think in some ways it's like we need to be better about building community IRL. Now, I don't mean that in like a LARPy gay way. I don't like the like PF model. I don't mean you guys start marching around and matching uniforms and stuff like that. Don't do stuff like that. But just build like a real community. I mean, even if it's like meeting at someone's house and having dinner or whatever, that goes a long way. So I got to read these super chats real quick. Had to go on my rant about that. Let's see. Boomer USA. Happy birthday, Patriot. Spend this on a nice pair of XXL cargo shorts. Gotta cover all that. Well, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Claude6 sent $10. Happy birthday, King. Get yourself a fat cigar. Thank you, Claude6. I appreciate it. Mike AF sent $3. Happy birthday, Unksap. Hope the cake is plentiful. Oh, it will be, pal. Man. Listen, I may be 1 year older, but this freak, he's not on a leash, man. Listen, they tried to put me in SCP containment. Can you believe this? They tried to put me in SCP containment, but you can't contain all this freak. I'm a freak, man, okay? I know what I am. I just admit it and I live up to it. I am a freak. They tried to shut me down, but it's never going to work. Certified freak, dude. Also, I got to post these videos that people sent out in the super chat. Let me check.
1, 2, 3.
Dude, epic troll face meme. Let's go. Epic troll face. Hell yeah, bro. What is that? What is that thumbnail? Maybe we'll watch that later. That looks funny. Let's see here. It's Freak Bob. Happy birthday, Pine Sap, Chief Trumpster. Dude, I was about to say to Chief Trumpster, happy birthday. Well, thanks, buddy. It's good to see you, man. Thank you for the happy birthday wishes. I'm so glad you tuned in, man. I love Chief, bro. He's such a G. Yeah, dude, I appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Oh my goodness, I'm like controlling 100 different screens.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Dude, I remember that from The Simpsons. That's such a good scene. And then after he's like, have them all killed at once. Have the Rolling Stones killed at once. That's so real, dude. Let's see. Boomer USA. Oh, I gotta see this. Hell yeah. Boomer USA. Dude, my boomer arc's gonna go hard. I'm gonna be like one of those like epic dads. Dude, listen. I don't mean to be a freak. I'm gonna be a DILF. That's what I'm going to be. I'm going to be a DILF. I don't care how it sounds. I need to be a DILF, dude. I can't be one of these fat, disgusting, beer-bellied freaks. I have to be a silver fox. I have to be a DILF. I have to just be the ultimate dad, bro. If I'm not, it's over. We've lost. We've lost, Patriots. If I'm not a DILF at 40, we have lost. I have to become. This is really good animation.
He says it's a shame, you know, it may be a game, but I won't play to lose. He's burning the grass. You take up a glass, swallow it neat.
Tuxedo donate $10. Happy Unk birthday, goat sap heart. Well, thank you, Tuxedo. Love you, buddy. I really appreciate the 10, man. I always love seeing Tuxedo on the timeline, man. He posts some of the like greatest tweets I've ever seen. I remember he had a really good Monero edit that I saved to on my phone. It's still on there, dude. Monero, I guess honestly that's the best crypto. Maybe I got to look into that. I'm not much of a crypto guy yet, but maybe that's something I got to look into. I know a lot of guys on our side are like, I was talking to Bosif about crypto once, and he was like, dude, how are you right wing and you don't know about crypto? And it's like, do you see my age? I'm Unk, dude. I'm Unk. I don't understand these things, dude. I get scared. I'm like one of those old boomers that gets scared of the TV, bro. I don't understand crypto. I don't understand this newfangled technology. I mean, I do have a comp sci degree, but I don't understand it, dude. I don't get it. It scares me. No, that's okay. I just need to I probably need to sit down through like a video tutorial and learn it. I've just been kind of like dragging my feet on it because there's like no real reason for me to like use crypto, and I don't fully trust it. I'm much more like just classic invest in the stocks, you know, like I've got a Schwab account and stuff like that. Like that's my go-to, but yeah, dude, I don't know. Crypto, I'm scared of it. I don't trust it. Bro said he used Monero to donate that power chat as well. That's awesome. That's so real, dude. Yeah, Nevada kind of is an old ass state, bro. But I don't know. There's a certain charm to it. For me, it's more of Arizona. My grandparents, they always like they always bought property and had like houses down in Sedona when I was a kid. And I mean, that place felt like a second home, dude. I love Sedona. It's actually, that's where I have my earliest experience of Catholicism ever. I posted about it on the timeline, but there's a chapel called here. Let me read the super chat real quick and I'll pull it up. Roman America sent $20. Happy birthday, sir. Well, thank you, buddy. I really appreciate that, man.
Hey, kid. I
appreciate you, Roman America. You're the GOAT, dude. Let's see here.
Hey,
okay.
Kid, I hear it's your birthday.
The happy birthday swing. Let me listen to the happy birthday swing and then I'll pull up what I'm talking about. Reminder, Sedona Chapel, Sedona Catholic Chapel. And then we'll go down our trip of memory lane.
I hear it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday!
Dude, heck yeah, that was awesome, man. Okay, ants on drugs, that's crazy. Is that like a Ralph Babsky thing? Kind of looks like it. So, Sedona... Man, I cannot spell Catholic. So, Chapel of the Holy Cross. So, I don't know if... Oh, man, I can't even... Oh, half Mexican, half Palestinian. I had to like read out his name for a moment. Half Mexican, half Palestinian. Dude, that guy is literally the GOAT. I love that dude so much. Sent me $40. Thank you, buddy. Happy birthday. We should kick it again soon. From half Mexican, half Palestinian, BFG XAF in the chat. Well, thank you, half Mexican, half Palestinian. Love you, brother. And yeah, we should kick it again, man. I mean, just let me know when you want to meet up or whatever, and I'll make it happen. We'll totally make it happen. I mean, I'm like driving around everywhere nowadays, so I can totally drive wherever, fly wherever. It doesn't matter, man. Life is an adventure, and you have to live it. Honestly, that's the one thing I have learned in this like past year. Is I don't know. It's crazy. After like everything happened, like I never had traveled that much in my entire life, and I really felt like for the first time I was living life. You know, because I don't know. It's like most of us feel like our lives are just going to be like being a desk jockey somewhere for like most of it. And it's not bad to like work a job like that. Those jobs are actually, you know, very lucrative or what have you. But I guess what I more mean is like, you know, the mindset of sometimes the people you might work with in a position like that. Like, it's like you come in Monday. Hey, Gary, how was the weekend? It's another Monday, right? And that kind of like old mindset. And you can work a job like that and not have that mindset, right? Because you got to pay the bills somehow, right? All of us need to work to you know, make a living and stuff like that. It's you know, just what we have to do in life. Whether that's blue collar, white collar, doesn't matter. But you don't have to have that mindset of it's just another Monday. Thank goodness it's Friday. Like, that kind of mindset is, again, like an old mindset. Like, you need to be full of adventure and splendor and wonder, and you need to constantly be traveling and seeing the world and experiencing what life's all about, man. And I really feel like even in the past year, I've really been fortunate enough to experience that, and it's really been like life-changing. I could not ask for kind of a better situation to just be able to like travel around, see all my friends, like make new friendships, like long-lasting ones too, like people who like really are in it for the rest of your life. And that's just special, man. So I'm grateful for that, to say the least. But Chapel of the Holy Cross. Now, when I was a kid, I don't think the crucifix was there yet. I think that was actually put up many, many years later. I think like 2014 or whatever. I would have been there like like 2005 or something. I think I was there when St. John Paul II was still with us. That's how old we're talking. Like this is like ancient, right? So I think like either at the very least Pope Benedict would have been Pope, but I think it was St. John Paul II. That's how old we're talking, right? I was like 3, 4, or 5, somewhere in that range. And I really, 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 the main thing I remember is walking in. You know, they had this like beautiful little outdoor area, all the surrounding rocks. But I remember walking in, and I can't remember what you call kind of the rows and rows of candles. I always forget that. But seeing the candles, and a lot of them were lit, and just seeing like the general ambiance of the whole setting. I believe it was the afternoon, so the sun was peering through the window at like just the right angle, right? It was kind of like this. Maybe a little brighter, like when the sun's starting to go down, but it was kind of just like this. And the way it just seemingly like poured through the window and illuminated the entire chapel, it did something to me, man. Being that young. I mean, when I was that young, you know, I didn't hardly understand anything. You know, I was a kid. I was just trying to, you know, focus on what my favorite song from Elmo was or whatever, right? Like I wasn't that like locked in yet. But I will say that I managed to just have this kind of sense of like happiness and peace and joy. It was like God's light pouring through. That's the best way I can explain it. It was like God's light just pouring through. And having just this feeling of like indescribable joy, like indescribable, like, dude, this exact scene, like right here, I was like basically like right here. And the way that everything kind of came together, the whole scene, being in Arizona, which was one of my favorite places in the entire world, being in the setting of just humble Christianity. I'm pretty sure that the tabernacle had our Lord in it. And I really do think that his presence in that moment just like touched my heart somehow. It was indescribable. I don't know like what words to say to kind of express what I felt in that moment, but it was just, I felt the presence of God with me. You know, my whole life, I mean, I've told you guys this. I grew up Episcopalian, right? And when you go in an Episcopalian church, it feels very sad. And the reason I've always said it feels very sad is because that building was built by people who believed. And now the only people that are in Episcopalian churches are old gay people. Like, it's like old people who believe that like gay marriage is okay, that all religions lead to heaven, that it's okay to have abortions, right? Immigration is like the biggest thing of our time, the biggest political cause of our time. And none of it feels like vibrant. None of it feels alive because you don't feel the presence of God there. And even when I was a kid, I knew nothing about Catholicism. I knew zip and zero, and everything that I did know was like middle America Protestant slop against Catholicism, right? Protestant propaganda against Catholicism. But every single experience I ever had with the faith, every single one, like did something to me. I just didn't, I didn't have like the words to describe it. It was interesting because I always remember it was like, you know, growing up, like, you know, maybe it was one of my parents or a family member would say like, you know, oh, yeah, like the rosary, that's a Catholic thing, right? Not necessarily dissing on it or being opposed to even, you know, like praying the rosary or what have you, but it was like, that's the Catholic thing. That's what Catholics do. And I was always very interested that like Catholics just seem so set apart. There was something different about Catholicism. There was something different, but it felt like there was this life in it. It wasn't like different, like you're walking down the street and you see a Hindu temple or a Buddhist temple or a synagogue or anything like that. That's different, but that's not like something that does something to your heart. You know what I mean? And I just remember it was like every experience of Catholicism I had as a kid made it seem like it was this cool, exclusive club. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know anything about the faith, but I just knew like in my heart I wanted to be a part of it. Dude, I've told this story a million times. I went to, gosh, it's going to kill me. Is it Tahosa? No, that's in Colorado. So not Tahosa. What is it? Philmont. Yeah, dude, Philmont. I've told this story a million times, but literally, I remember at Philmont, it was the day before we were like to set out. So, you're doing all the fun stuff in the camp. There's like skits and all that. You're talking with your boys about Minecraft and video games. We were talking about like Call of Duty Zombies and stuff like that. Classic experience, right? And we're going to kind of like the religious portion of the afternoon. Whatever religion you are, you go to like the little stage area. You go to the little setting that you're meant to be in. And because we were a Protestant troop, I don't think there was a single Catholic amongst us as far as I remember, but because we were a Protestant troop, all of us went to the Protestant auditorium area. There was like kind of a auditorium with like wood benches and a stage where I think they would do like religious stuff or have skits. And that was where we were supposed to go for the Protestant thing. And I'm walking along the trail and I see this stage, and the priest has just gotten done consecrating the Eucharist, and he's distributing Holy Communion. And I see kids literally like kneeling down in the dirt, receiving the body and blood of our Lord. And I'm like, dude, I like want that. I didn't know what it was. I was like, this was a part of, I've told my testimony a million times, but like, this was a part of like my story when I was like just getting back into Christianity. Like I'd thrown off the Buddhist crap. I wasn't doing that anymore, but I was just trying to get back into Christianity. And, I just remember being like very enamored with Catholicism in that moment. Again, that indescribable feeling, just like when I was 5 in this chapel, man, like that indescribable, like, I don't have words to kind of like express what I'm feeling. I don't have the language to kind of express what I'm going through, but all I know is that like, this is true and everything else is, I don't mean to sound sophomoric, but everything else is like fake and gay. Like everything else just feels fake. Everything else feels inauthentic. Nothing feels like it's touching the heart, like it's touching the soul, right? And that feeling just like never left me. And I kept having experiences where it was always back to the church. It was always back to Catholicism. It was always back to, this like mystery of Catholicism, this mystery of the Eucharist, this mystery of just this whole different way of living. And ironically, that was expressed at Philmont, dude. I mean, at the Protestant thing, it's like, it was cute and everyone's hearts were in the right place. I'm not going to diss on it too hard. Everyone there like wants to follow God and yeah, they're wrong, of course. We need to call a spade and say that they're wrong, but nobody's there like out of any bad intention or anything like that. Like they have the intention of following Christ, but they're not doing it in the right way. But we like sang hymns and did all that, which to a certain extent was maybe like fun, but it just didn't have like the same heart. It didn't have the same breath. It didn't have the same spirit. And that was my whole experience of Protestantism growing up. Like I had friends that would like invite me to their church things. It always looks like an office building when you come in, and there's like carpet on the floor, and there's like some plain cross up at the altar, and like behind the glass there's a drum kit and stuff like that. I did like Bible college at like a place like that when I was a kid. And the people are super nice, and you can tell that they're like really wanting to be for Jesus. they made this decision to like want to, follow God and make him the center of their life. So it's like, I don't think that those people are inauthentic, but the whole experience is. Because it's like you're reading all these things about Jesus, you're reading all these things about the life of Christ, and it's like the more you read, it just feels like out of whack with what you're seeing. It's like, I don't think our Lord, was present in the middle of like a Creed drum solo. And I love Creed, but it's like, I don't think our Lord taught the apostles to worship with a 20-minute drum solo. I don't think our Lord taught the apostles to, sing these like hymns that sound like commercials. If we're to go where the Lord is, it has to feel ancient. It has to feel like where the ancient faith is. And I only ever got that in a Catholic church. I only got that in a Catholic church. A Catholic church was the only place that I could go. And I felt like I was in a touch point going back to the apostles. Dude, it's literally like, you guys aren't going to believe me when I post this. But you guys are going to know exactly what I'm talking about. You guys literally are going to know exactly what I'm talking about when I show you this. I need a high quality image. It's literally this, bro. It's that's it. Like when you go to mass, that's what you feel. Like when I saw that scene as a kid, chills. Right? When I saw that as a kid, chills. I felt like I was a part of something watching Aang look at all the prior avatars, right? And I always thought to myself as a kid, I was like, how cool would it be to be a part of something like that? Because like as like young white men, we used to have things like this. We don't have things like this anymore. Like you read like old history books, that are put together for like school children from like the 20s or whatever. And they're literally talking about like white civilization and like you have this blood, you have this lineage, you have this ancestry that goes back thousands and thousands of years. Our children and even my generation, weren't taught that. I do feel like I was a part of the last like generation, kind of Gen Z, like born in 2001, 2000, 2002, that kind of generation, maybe even a little later than that for some of you guys, where you had that a little bit intuitively. Like you'd look at things from like the founding fathers or whatever, and you'd be like, oh, they're white and I'm white and I'm like connected to them somehow. But like the moment you started to open up that can of worms, you had some like teacher come over and be like, no, you can't talk that way. No. Like it's fine to be proud of who they are, but no, the moment like blood and identity and memory enters into that, that's a no. You can't touch that. And so I think as a kid, it's like, that you're made for that. And that you're like made to experience that lineage, that honor, that like going back in time. But you don't see that anywhere. And so you almost try to see that in like fictional universes because it's like a very intuitive experience of like everything that I am led up to this moment. That's the best way to put it. Everything that I am led up to this moment. I am the culmination of thousands of years of people behind me, right? And you don't really like get to experience that as like a young, like middle class white kid. I mean, dude, it's really bad for kids now. I mean, it was even bad when I was a kid. Like when I was a kid, I mean, again, like, you would talk about like your heritage and stuff like that a little bit more. I mean, thank goodness we had that. But it's like the moment you kind of connected it to race and ethnicity, people like weren't like into that. And they would like try to shut it down. But by becoming Catholic, I felt like I opened up this whole part of myself that I didn't know was there. I mean, one of the things that was kind of crazy about like being a part of the church was, and one of the hardest things initially was, you know, dude, my family has been Anglican for like hundreds of years. Like my family is so Anglican or English that it's like, we're talking like 1500s. We were there at the start of it. Right. So for a 500-year period, it's like, I'm pretty sure I've had family members that were like clergymen in the Anglican church. We've had this history, this deep, WASP identity and stuff like that. And it was hard for me initially to want to become Catholic because I felt like, well, I'm not Irish, I'm not Mexican, I'm not Italian. Not that those ethnicities or races are bad at all. They're just not me. I'm none of those things. I'm primarily French and I'm primarily English, right? Leaning kind of more on the English side, at least the way that I grew up. And it was very difficult because I felt like I was giving up a piece of myself. But when I realized, like, deeper in my people's history, deeper in my race's history was this deep Catholicism, this deep Catholic heart, right? This deep Catholic essence and being to everything. Bro, it felt like this. And I don't mean this in like a LARPy way, but like in a certain way, it felt like I completed the circle. It felt like I completed the circle. It felt like I took everything that my family had been, separated from God, separated from the church, and it was for being like an early young man, my King Arthur moment, pulling the sword out of the stone, completing the circle. The arc has been completed. The timeline, everything has been put in balance again. Just by becoming Catholic. What was once broken was now healed and completed. Everything had been set as it was always meant to be. Like, that's how it felt. And so that experience of the faith, that's what it always felt like. And I feel like for so many of us, this is like what God has always called us back to. Is this idea of like, at first it's tough, dude. And look, growing up, I didn't really go to church hardly at all. And I only really started to go to church on like Christmas towards like the end of school, right? Like, or towards the end of high school, right? Actually, at sort of the behest of my of my mom, and then it became a family tradition, and it was beautiful. I'm very thankful for it. It led me to where I am here, but it was funny because for a lot of people that I know, because I'm friends with a lot of Protestant and Eastern Orthodox people running in the circles that I'm in. And for them to become Catholic, it's a harder experience, dude. I mean, they're having to give up a lot more. They're having to sacrifice a lot more. They're having to, have entire community that they like no longer will hang out with as much. I mean, if you're really involved in your church life, like I know at least how it goes in Colorado's culture, and I think it's very much the same in the rest of the United States, but Colorado Springs especially has a very evangelical culture. And, where I grew up kind of touches Colorado Springs, so it poured over into like Castle Rock and all those areas, where I went to high school, where I grew up. And your church community was like a huge part of your life. Like you had friends from there, you had family from there, you had like every major outing and community event was like at the church with the pastor, with the pastor's family. Like that was the whole experience of sort of like evangelical Colorado culture. And I wasn't a part of that, right? I was old stock Protestant. I was mainline Protestant. I wasn't evangelical. So like, my family, we didn't really do that. So we didn't really have much of a parish community. We didn't really have much of like, ties and roots in that similar way. So for us, it was like, there was kind of less for me to leave when I became Catholic, right? But these kids, man, that it's like they're tied into their church, their parish communities. It's like, I can see how that's like a lot to leave. That's a lot to give up. But it still comes back to this sort of head. It still comes back to this sort of heart of like, this is what's happening when you come back to the faith, man. You have behind you generations, 1,000 generations of people behind you who lived and believed in Jesus Christ. And even though you like feel alone in that moment where you're like giving up all that parish community, you're gaining something so much more. You're a part of something much larger than yourself, something inconceivably large. And I think that's what we have to like press upon people. As much as you feel like you're giving up things, and you most certainly are, you're gaining thousands of years of this lineage and this heritage and this ancestry that you never knew was there. And even if you didn't have all that, dude, what do you have? You have Jesus. He's all that you need, dude. Like, even if you didn't have all this, you have Christ. And he is all that you need at the end of the day. So it's like, as much as you're giving up, man, you're gaining everything else. But yeah, man, Chapel of the Holy Cross, if you can ever make it down there, dude, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's incredible. It's life-changing. It's like, it's that kind of modern architecture that's like very enlivening, and you just feel like your soul rejuvenated when you're there. But I'm glad that you guys like the Aang analogy. That's how I felt becoming Catholic. Like that's the Catholic journey, man. That's the Catholic path. It's just like completing the cycle, completing the circle, coming back home. Let's see here. I know I got some super chats in. Got to read these, man. Got to read these super chats. Okay, I read half Mexican, half Palestinian. Credo AF sent $10. Happy birthday, brother. Thank you, Credo. I appreciate it. Yavex sent $10. Pine Sap, do you agree with Charles Cologne when he said Catholics should fly the Confederate battle flag? Yeah, dude. Listen, I know in our sphere, I know even within AF, some people dog on the Confederates. I am biased because I am a direct descendant from Stonewall Jackson. So, look, I am kind of biased, but I will say I do like the Confederacy. There is kind of a spirit of like old Americana there that I just don't feel like the Union ever had. And I think that there's kind of like a higher and sort of a nobler spirit to the Confederacy that I think represents sort of a more aristocratic culture to America. So that's what I've always really loved about the Confederacy. I mean, when I discovered my Confederate heritage, it did make me more aristocratic. It did make me kind of appreciate being a little bit more clean cut, a little bit more higher in my thinking, not this, Richmond, north of Richmond. Oh, I'm just an old country bumpkin. And, I don't know nothing about that. It's like, that culture is white trash. That culture is total white trash. We can't mess around with that, right? We are meant to be aristocrats. We're meant to be world builders and world makers. And I really feel like the South in a certain way embodied that spirit and that intellect and that culture. But also, I mean, my family's split down the middle, so I do have a lot of Northern heritage as well. And I think that you can make the argument that there is a high level of that in New England. I think the sort of New England culture of excellence, of, wanting to be something more than yourself, that also is very excellent too. And that's something that I have embodied. That's something that I have kind of embraced a lot more. And so I think that you have to, if you have heritage from both the North and the South, you have to let both of them stir within yourself. And you have to find that part of yourself, and you have to find what made our people and our race and our ancestors excellent, and try to embody that in your own life. And when I say an aristocrat, I don't mean, dressing up in a top hat and looking like you're going to the Renaissance fair. I'm not talking about that. I just mean you have to be an aristocrat of the soul. You have to be someone who looks to higher things, that wants to become better. I mean, Nincompoop the third literally said in chat, you have to mog, bro. You have to ascend. Don't be fat anymore. Don't be unhealthy. Aspire to a good job. Aspire to building a good life for yourself. And if you do that, you're solid, man. I mean, something that I have been really listening to a lot recently, because it kind of feels like the right time for it, is I've been listening to a lot of Sam Hyde's life advice. And he's the only guy who, aside from Nick, of course, but, Nick's primary focus is, the show and politics and what have you. But he does have really good nuggets of life advice in there. But Sam, because he went through everything that we're going through, and he's lived almost 1,000 lives in a certain way, being a millennial, coming from an older generation, and I think kind of being the big brother, so to speak, for us, because he went through all of it. He's got a lot of salient life advice about, not only like practical things like how you should save your money or how, what kind of job you should work, but that stuff isn't even so much the more important thing to me. It's more the like, you should love people, and you should take a genuine interest in their lives, and you should be a likable person. Because here's the problem, man. Sometimes when people in our circle say be a likable person, they mean it in this sort of like sociopathic way, where you're like, you don't actually give a shit about the people you're talking to. You don't really actually take a genuine interest in what they're saying. You just come off as likable because you're like not mean to them, or you're not like being rude to them all the time. That's not being a truly like lovable person. I would almost use the term lovable. You shouldn't even just be likable. You should be a lovable person. And part of being a lovable person means you choose to take a genuine interest in the lives of those around you. You choose to take a genuine interest. Look, I know sometimes people are talking to you and they're not always the most interesting, and they're not always, it's not like talking to your boys in the group chat. It's not like watching a YouTube video. They're not going on some dialogue about, a I can't even pronounce the word, Spenglerian, diatribe about the uplift of Western civilization, and we need a Caesar to reset the clock, and every civilization goes through. Listen, I know they're probably not that. That's okay. That's okay. They don't have to be that. They just have to be themselves, right? And not any of the vices that they imbibe. Don't accept vice from other people. Don't accept vice from yourself. Try to overcome your vices. When I say accepting a person for who they are, like if someone goes up to you and says like, oh, well, I'm bisexual or I'm trans or something like that. Clearly you can't accept them doing that, right? You can't accept them being a weird gay homo. But in terms of like their interest, like even a weird person, even a person who's sadly a degenerate, like the true tragedy of them doing that is that's not who they like really are. Who are they really? Talk to that person. Don't talk to like the weird degenerate part of themselves. Talk to like the person that they actually are. Do they have an interest in, dude, I don't care if it's like even nerdy stuff. Like I don't care if it's like Magic the Gathering. Talk to Magic the Gathering with them. Speak to that issue. You don't have to be like above it all the time. You don't have to be like, oh, it's literally like that meme. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this. If you're this, you need to kill yourself immediately. You need to commit suicide immediately. Do not be this. I am begging every single one of you. Do not be this fucking guy. If you are this guy, these people are the most unlikable faggots in the entire world. I'm sorry, I have met them. I've gone to a lot of these conferences. I've gone to a lot of these things, and I've met people like this, and they are insufferable. Dude, we don't need to be talking about crime statistics all the time. We don't need to be talking about the decline of Western civilization in every breath. Let's just talk about nice stuff. Let's talk about good. Do you like to fish? Do you like to fish? Do you like to go do jujitsu? You know, jujitsu. I know, I'm kidding. Do you like to do jujitsu? Do you like MMA? Do you like sports? Do you like cars? Do you like video games, board games, tabletop games? What do you like to do for fun? Do you like reading? What's a good book you're reading right now? Take a genuine interest in people. Also, I saw Catholic Duong said, happy birthday, Pine Sap. Happy birthday to you, or not happy birthday to you, Duong. Thank you, Duong. I always want to say happy birthday to people, but no, thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate that. It's so good to see you, brother. It's so good to see you. Oh, and let me read these other super chats just before I forget, and I'll keep going on my rant. Roman America sent $5. May he who illuminated this illuminate me. Amen. 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 Amen, brother. Ked's Dad sent $3. I'm not the best Catholic, but I try. I need to go to confession, bro. We'll pray for you, man. And hey, you're talking to, not all of us are the best Catholics, man. We struggle. We're trying to be better and stuff like that. We're trying to improve our lives, but all we can do is try every little day to be better than we were the last, right? And that's what it's all about. So, dude, get to confession immediately as possible. And just try a little bit each day, you know? We're praying for you, man. Anonymous sent $3. Happy birthday, Goat. Thanks for helping me get in the church, getting confirmed this Easter. Well, thank you, Anonymous. I appreciate that, man. God bless you. That means a lot to me, man. God bless you, bro. Oh, and then you guys don't have to super chat if you don't want to, but I'm just putting the link in the chat. Anyway, back on the rant. And I gotta look at the live chat. Yeah, right, try girly. No fun allowed. Pine Sap is just kidding. He wants people to be super base 24/7. Yes, I want everyone to be, dressed into the hilt of Hugo Boss, and I want them to be talking about Mein Kampf and all. No, dude, just be normal. Just be a normal, good person, right? That's the best thing you can do. The problem is, on our side of things, whether we like to admit or not, a lot of us are disaffected young men. We haven't been given a leg up in life. We haven't really been given like a lot of opportunity. The world has kind of been set against us. We haven't had a lot of opportunity to like make friends, make social connections, like go up and outside of ourselves, have a greater social environment, have the opportunities that prior generations of men were afforded. I get it, bro. I get it. But the thing about it is that you're never going to become... Oh, let's see here. Mike said happy birthday, but it's like the black guy eating Krispy Kreme. Wait, what's in the chat? Someone said for me to check chat. Pine Sap is a confirmed Dixie Patriot. Dude, that AI image is a little brutal. It's a little rough. That looks rough. That's scaring me. No, that's crazy. But anyhow, yeah, sensitive, disaffected young Zoomers. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things where, someone said to make the screen larger. I'll do that. We've been given a tough lot. We have. And it's okay to admit that. It's not okay to live in that. Yeah, look, everything's tough. Everything's brutal to a certain extent. You don't have to tell me, right? You don't have to tell me that twice. What are you going to do now? What are you going to do with that? Because here's the thing, man. If you live in being a loser, if you live in not bettering yourself, if you live in not seeking to improve your life or build something for yourself, you're just going to stay there. You're going to be there forever, dude. You are always going to spend your life feeling bad for yourself and feeling down on your luck. And I hate to say it, it's like a lot of us kind of sell ourselves short. Like, I'm going to say something and I want to make sure I put it in the best way, because I have a lot of friends who do this kind of work, and this work is very dignified and good. I'm not dissing on it. But like a lot of our guys, they work at Target. They work at like minimum wage jobs. And it's kind of promoted that they only go into blue collar work, which there's nothing wrong with blue collar work. If that's what you love to do, if that is your expertise, if that is what you love to do, blessed be God, man, that's great. I'm not dissing on blue collar work. Blue collar people are the guys who built the back of America. Broke the back of America. No, I'm kidding. They built the back of America. But like, if I'm just being real for a moment, I'm kind of tired of guys in our sphere only being promoted. Either you have the like loser minimum wage job or you have the blue collar job, and that's it. We got to think higher than that. We got to think higher than that, man. We have got to be building businesses. We've got to be, focusing on getting upper level positions and integrating ourselves in academia and integrating ourselves in, higher learning, higher education, pursuing education. That's what we have to be. And in order to be that way, you have to be a likable person. You can't be this shit, man. Every single one of us, look, if you've been to like AmFest or you've been to any of these events, every single one of us has been in a situation where we've met this fucking guy, right? This guy who comes in and he's like, why are you guys talking about video games? Video games are for losers. You're talking about video games right now? That's a book it's literally like that gay beta male tweet. You guys know the one I'm talking about. The one we've seen a long time ago where it was like, all I see when I see a guy who lifts is another muscle where that should have been a book read. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, dude. If you're talking that way, you're a fucking loser and an unlikable person, and I don't care that you're right wing. Get the fuck away from me. You're unlikable garbage. You're like the right wing equivalent of a tranny. Let's just be for real for a moment. I am gonna like go. Sorry, my ear is a little itchy. I'm gonna go off. You are the right wing equivalent of a troon, of a trans person. You're not likable. You're not likable. Nobody wants to be around you. Nobody wants to be around this. And I don't mean guys who talk politics a lot. That's fine. I talk politics all the time, every single day, 24 hours, right? That's an interest of mine. I like talking about politics. But like, I'm also okay with talking about video games, dude. And I'm also okay with talking about like fishing or sports or even things I'm not that into. Like, I have a ton of friends that are like into cars. I don't like cars. I think cars are boring. I'll still listen to them talk about cars and engage with them though, right? That's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that, dude. Just be a normal person. You can talk about politics and chud out. I'm not saying that. Like, if that's part of being a lovable person, great. I do that and I chud out, and there's nothing wrong with that. But do it in a likable, charismatic way. Don't do it in this like weird tranny way where it's like, I did not hear you talking about Oswald Spengler for that entire sentence. Is there something I should be aware about? Is there something I should be aware about? Why are you playing video games for 0.5 seconds? You should be lifting in the gym for 6 hours a day. Bro, most of us do not have 6 hours to lift. We've got 2 hours, right? That's my lift time. I lift for about 2 hours, and then I do the sauna. I do the dry sauna and the wet sauna. Because you know your boy's getting wet. Just kidding. But most of us can't like lift for 6 hours a day or like, you know, read 110 books a day, dude. We can't read 109 books every day, bro. Okay? Sometimes you're going to play some video games, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're playing too much video games, that's when a problem occurs, right? That's when a problem occurs. If you're playing too many, and that's on Kirk, that's Kirkulus, bro. That's Kirkulus, right? Most of us can't. And here's the thing. It's like, do you want to do that? Do you seriously want to read? I don't want to read 109 books in one day, bro. I don't want to be in the gym for like 8 hours a day like it's a work shift. That makes it less fun. I get we're trying to do like serious work, but at the same time, like part of being a real human being is enjoying the rhythm of life. I want to dance. Dude, I was okay, there's a restaurant called Cuba Cuba. I don't know if this is a chain in other states, but it's a chain in Colorado. And I was just at that restaurant with a friend the other day, right? And like they had samba music playing. It was like nice. The vibe was on point. Like I was vibing out, dude. It was awesome. I was vibing out. I was having a good time. Like that's special. That's meaningful. I loved getting into the rhythm of life. That's the kind of like bent I've been on. And the more I've been on that bent, the more I realize dislikable faggots like this are people I don't want to be around you if you're like this. Like if you're coming up to someone, you're like, hey, Pine Sap. I didn't get the ambiance right. Hey, Pine Sap. Dude, did you know the Jews control everything? Yes, I do. You don't need to tell me that 500 times. I've been in this for 5 years. Yes, I know they control everything. Okay, well, dude, what base and red pill book should I read? Shut the fuck up, you weird freak. Just be normal. Be a good guy. What's your name? You went up to me and you didn't even tell me what your name was, pal. That's how chudded out you are. What's your name, dude? Hi, my name's Connor. What's your name? What do you like to do for fun? I only listen to German military marches, and I'm gonna fucking kill you, dude. You need to stop. You need to just stop, okay? Like, listen to Claro. Listen to, like, Duran Duran. Listen to, like, Foster the... like, I don't care... I don't care if you listen to you know, hold on. Let a sappy cook. Okay? I don't care if you listen to Lumineers. I don't care if you listen to Slap Clap Hey music. I don't care if you listen to Slap Clap Hey and you are buying your shareable and your handheld. I don't care, man. I don't care. This is more real. Lumineers, Hey Ho, or Ho, I guess the song's called Ho Hey. It should be Hey Ho, right? I don't care if this is you. I don't care if you have a man bun. Well, okay, I actually do kind of care about that, but I don't care if you're wearing suspenders and a newsy cap. That's just real. That's really who you are. But if you're like, I listen to Das Bundesheer German marches and guys, I only read about German military tactics. It's like, you need to kill yourself immediately. Oh my goodness. Stop fucking being like that, dude. That is the most cringy shit in the entire world. I can't be around that for 5 seconds anymore. there was maybe like a 2-month period of time when I initially became, red pilled, as you would say, like 2020, that I might have like somewhat tolerated that. But almost immediately, I was very perturbed and put off by that kind of behavior. I don't care if you're a cringe millennial. Just be a real human being. Just be a real human being, bro. Like, if millennial core quirk chungus is your personality, I'll honestly take that. Sevilla said it in chat. I listen to dubstep. That's great. I love that a million times. I don't listen to dubstep, but that's who you are, bro. That's who you are. You're a real human being. And honestly, fuck it. I'll listen to dubstep with you. I am not going to do like, German Bundesheer marches and, I only listen to, listen to Audible books about German military tactics. It's like, just be a normal person. Just be a normal dude. Here's the thing, man. And you can balance it out. I'm not saying it's bad if you like reading about German military tactics. Look, I listen to some military chants once in a while. That is also part of being a real person, but it's like, balance it out. That's the best way I can put it. It's not that if you do that stuff, like, yes, there's days I listen to Gregorian chant, but I'm not one of these homos that's like, if you listen to anything other than Gregorian chant, can you call yourself a trad Catholic? Can you call yourself trad? Are you trad? Are you trad, bro? Yeah, are you trad? 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 Like, no, dude, stop. Stop. That's not real. You are not a real human being. You got your personality from Pinterest and YouTube and Instagram reels, bro. Like, I will listen to Gregorian chant when I feel that is the vibe right now. I love it. I love listening to Gregorian chant, not even dissing on it. And then you know what? I'm listening to Kanye. I'm listening to Carnival. I'm listening to Carnival 5 seconds later. That's what we're on, bro. I'm listening to Carnival 5 seconds later. Go, 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 go. Like that's how I am, bro. Okay? Amor said it in chat. It's like a puritanical LARP. It's like this, like, you're so insecure about just being an actually faithful Catholic, an actually traditional Catholic, or like an actually right-wing guy, that if your entire universe isn't like surrounded by it 110% like all the time, you feel like you're not like not really down for the cause. But that's like an internet personality. That's not how people actually are. Do you think even the people that like lived in these times were always like, okay, guys, we've got to always be focused on war 24/7? It's like, no, dude, they were merry, they were jolly, they had fun, they listened to like songs and things that embodied kind of the rhythm of life. Like, that's what it was all about, man. It was imbibed with the rhythm of life. That's how you need to be. Don't be this like weird gay nerd that just is like focused on being dour all the time. That's like not fun. Nobody wants to jive with that. Nobody wants to fuck with that, bro. Red Trad Girly sent $10. Happy birthday. Hey, thanks Red Trad Girly for the 10. I appreciate it. I was again about to say happy birthday to you too, but I really appreciate it. Scapular Groiper sent $5. Happy birthday. Keep up the great work. America First, Crisis King. Thank you, Scapular Groiper. I appreciate it, brother. Appreciate you, brother. But just be a real person, man. That's all I'm saying. I'm not dissing. Like, look. Your boy loves an whoa. Let's maybe not go full bend, but it's like, your boy loves an Antelope Hill book, right? I love Antelope Hill. Your boy loves an Antelope Hill book. Your boy loves a CAU, Catholic University of America Press book. Of course I do. But And I'll talk to that and I'll talk about it. But I'll also talk about music, and I'll also talk about video games, and I'll also talk about, I mean, dude, I've been playing on my Steam Deck recently, like Ball Pit. I love that game, dude. That game is so much fun. I love getting to like bounce like the that was about to be paused. I love getting to bounce balls, bro. I love getting to bounce balls. No, but I love getting to like bounce the balls off the wall and like hit the different like enemies just right so it like ricochets. That's so much fun. I can talk about that, and I can talk about an Antelope Hill book in the same breath. Like, people don't understand that there is a nuance in the way that you carry yourself in life, right? There's a nuance to life. When I say nuance, I don't mean like a nuance over our positions or values. That's gay. Don't like be a radical, be zealous. But I mean, there's a nuance in the way that you carry yourself with other people. You can just be a likable person and, you know, talk about normal people things. You don't always have to be like politically supercharged in your conversation 24/7. Like, the West isn't being saved by you doing that, bro. The West is not being saved by you doing that. Right? So balance it out. And ironically, it's like, if you want to aid our political mission, you're going to attract a lot more people by just being a normal, likable dude than being somebody who's like a gay nerd and nobody wants to be around. We do not like gay nerds. Gay nerds are unlikable, and I do not like gay nerds. People like that are not fun to be around. They're genuinely, you can feel the air taken out of the room when you're around someone like that. Be a likable and a lovable person. And if you're a likable and lovable person, people will flock to you, dude. And you will win souls over to Christ. You will affect our political mission way more than if you were just some gay, unlikable nerd that nobody wants to be around. So that's my piece on it, man. I think way too many people kind of like imbibe this type of attitude, and it's just like, it's got to stop. One thing I have like grown out of is like that kind of thinking. It's that kind of thinking that's narcissistic and it's self-indulgent. It's very self-indulgent, and it basically believes that it's like, if you're not that way all the time, then the Jews win. Then we lose, bro. No, that's not how political action works. It's like, talk is cheap. When the time comes, you'll do the right thing. But in the meantime, it's like, just be a likable person and bide the conversation with like, you know, maybe politics one moment and then like something fun the next, right? Just be a normal, well-adjusted guy. That's all what it's about. All political ideologies and religions hate fun, except for Catholicism that demands people to have fun. Yes, dude, mandatory fun. It's like that Weird Al album that says mandatory fun on it. And he's like dressed in like the like Stalinist, like fascist garb. He's like, mandatory fun, like the dictatorial garb. And he's like, you are going to have fun and you're going to like it.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
We are also...
Dude, is this an old-ass video? 1 year ago. Bro, I can't even watch stuff with this guy anymore. You know what I mean? Like, this guy has lost, like, all aura. He's just like a fat orange orangutan at this point. But honestly, I shouldn't even say that, because that's insulting to orangutans. I fucking love orangutans, bro. I actually do really love orangutans. Those guys are, like, so sweet and so cute. There's, like, no recorded incident of an orangutan hurting a human being. Did you hear that? Have you guys heard that before? There's no recorded incident of an orangutan harming a human being. They're just the fucking best, bro. They're so sweet and they're so cute. We love orangutans. This fucking guy, though, is an embarrassment. This guy is such a fucking embarrassment, dude. Here, I'll go on my rant more, but I'm just going to read these super chats. Roman America sent $5. Your take on celebrating heritage despite having ancestry from both the North and South is interesting. I do feel it's conflicting, though. I'm both a descendant of Robert the Bruce and a distant cousin of King Edward I. Oh, dude, that's crazy. No, I get that, but I think there's a way to integrate it within yourself that it doesn't feel like it's conflicting. It's like, you know, taking on the values, taking on elements of the culture, and kind of allowing that to, you know, seep into your personality and who you are and who you want to be as a young man. I think you can do that in a very, like, good synthesis that doesn't have to result in, like, conflict within yourself. Mo Gummy sent $3. Billions must be joyful. Also, happy birthday, old man. Well, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Happy birthday, dude. Pepsi and hot sauce. Pepsi and hot sauce. Okay. Dude, honestly, that's probably a lot better than whatever this guy's got going on.
Hello, YouTube. How you doing today? This is going to be a very good and easy video, and I'll get right into it. Thank you all for what you've been doing. It's so wonderful. Okay, first of all, I got my glass. I got my Pepsi. And I got my hot sauce. I love my hot sauce. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Pepsi in the glass.
Bro,
as usual.
why when he said, I love my hot sauce, he was doing that like Superman thing where he's like, I love my hot sauce. He was doing like the freaky tongue flip thing. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe I can vibe with bro. Bro's a freak. I'm a freak. Like, it works, dude. Let's see. Hell yeah. Look up old YouTube poops. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll look up some good stuff.
Nice crack. Love the crack. That much Pepsi, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, that much Pepsi. And now, I'm going to put the hot sauce in it. Love my hot sauce. Simple and easy. But that much. Then I give it a roundy stir. See? Roundly stir. Ooh, smells spicy. Hot saucy. Now we taste. Hopefully it tastes good. Wow. Oh.
Bro, that's crazy.
Wow. Spicy. Hot. You know, somebody on the other video I was watching said it tastes gross. No, it don't. Wow.
Bro, I'm gonna be real. That probably tastes like shit. Like, I love this old man's energy, but like, dog, I'm not doing Pepsi and hot sauce. That seems like it would taste like absolute ass.
The simple wizardy drink does it again. Wow. Whew. That was hot. I'll let you know when and whatever happens. So, thank you, YouTube. Oh, yeah. Cheers.
Wait, hold on.
I know it's a short video, but still, cheers. Bye.
I've had some good burgers in my time. I love a good melted Swiss cheese and roasted mushrooms and caramelized onions on a burger. That is
hot stuff.
You can get that.
You can get that a number of places.
I've had some good burgers in
my time. I like a nice caramelized onion. Dude, when he said that's hot, I just thought to myself, I was like, dude, Big Spence, he's coming out. The McSpencer.
I've had some good burgers in my time. I love a good melted Swiss cheese. With some caramelized. That is hot stuff.
We gotta find an edit. Oh, dude, this edit goes hard as fuck.
Aryans are global people. That's what we do. We conquer other people and we create legal and political structures and we kind of move on. That's who we are, and our destiny is to ultimately do that in space. That is not the destiny of the Jews,
Hell yeah.
and it's something that the Jews fundamentally resented. But yes, we are a global people. We think globally. We think in terms of planetary domination. It's who we are. At least the best of us. The kind of petty nationalism and blood and soil stuff is a kind of low church version of what the European really is. We worry about being villainized and so on. We are the villain on some level. We are that person who other races fear because we're stronger and bolder and ultimately more beautiful and more ruthless. That is who we are, and we have to embrace that aspect of ourselves if we are going to free ourselves.
My favorite clip of his is like, you have to be a little evil sometimes. Sometimes you might have to be a little evil. It's so true, though. It's like, and not like actually evil, not sinful, of course, but like, you do have to kind of embrace that like dark element that like people are afraid of sometimes. You know what I mean? Like for Catholics, it's like, you have to be the Grand Inquisitor. You have to be the Torquemada. You have to be the like rigidly orthodox, scary, esoteric, mysterious, Machiavellian type Count Frollo dude sometimes, right? And it's like for white people, it's like you have to be the conquistador. You have to be the, kind of like dark triad, certain figure, we all know and love, right? You have to be that sometimes. You have to embrace that, sometimes. Again, not in a sinful way, but in a way of like, you have to be what your enemies fear. You have to be a Savonarola. Thank you, A-Wolf. Yeah, you honestly have to be Savonarola. You have to be Torquemada. You have to be these figures in church history that they weren't actually evil men. They were the opposite. They were the pinnacle of virtue, right? You have to be cunning like the serpent and as innocent as the dove. And I think they really exemplified that, especially Savonarola. I mean, that was his entire life, right? And, it's good to be like wholesome Chungus sometimes, but like, dude, you get some of these like new trad guys, like, okay, you guys know like the new male thing? Like new male? Oh my goodness, no Man's Sky just came out. Like this kind of look. My wife bought me a Switch after the vasectomy so I could play it while her and her boyfriend, fuck in the next room. Like that's like this kind of shit. You know what I mean? There is like a trad archetype of guy. You know who I'm talking about. Let's be a little real for a moment. Let's be a little real for a moment. You've seen the trad guy online who looks exactly like this. It's just true. I hate to say it. I hate to be that blunt. I hate to be that mean. Well, not like that. That's just a gay guy. But like, you've seen a trad guy who looks like this. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be rude, but I've seen some guy who has like a pocket watch, a tweed suit, rimmed horn glasses, what's this guy's name? Seth Rogen glasses, I bet Hitler smoked a lot of weed, dude. Like that kind of vibe. And I hate it. I've dedicated my entire time online to destroying it, bro. I've dedicated my entire time to destroying it because it is so gay and it is just performative. And there's nothing that I love about it, dude. Let's see here. Oh, so you hate me? $1. Happy birthday to my favorite Sephardi, Hispanic, Catalan, West African Bantoid streamer. Dude, fuck off with that. I know who sent that, and I love you to death, but I am not Just because I am Occitanian does not mean that I'm Sephardic and West African, okay? Just because I'm Occitanian does not mean I'm Sephardic and West African. Yes, probably some of my ancestors were Cathars. That is an L, but I am a French man. I am a French and I'm an English man. We was Kangs, man. We was aristocracy. We was Normans. We ruled this. We ruled this motherfucker. That's what we were. They aren't even traditional. They just wear the TLM as a personality since they're nerds and usually gooners. Mount Carmel nationalists, that's like so true though. They're not even actually traditional. It's like, because you'll ask them like their opinion about like women or whatever. And I'm not saying like, you know, like the only correct opinion is you'd put her through the coffee table. I'm not saying that, but it's like, can you tell your wife to like tone it down a little bit? Like, dude, your wife is getting a little uppity. Can you tell her to like calm it down a little bit? And they're like, my wife is a perfect queen. And if you even talk to her that way, buddy, that is not Catholic masculinity. Catholic masculinity is actually being totally cuckolded by your wife. It's like, that's how they come off. Like a totally untraditional view of like male and female dynamics, a totally untraditional view of race, a totally untraditional view of Jews. Let's be for real. And honestly, just church teachings in general. Like, it's like always the guys in marriage who are like, I hate to be this blunt, but it's like, how can I bust a nut in my wife's mouth and have it not be sinful? It's like, how can I have oral sex and not have it be sinful? And it's like, maybe just don't have oral sex, you fucking weirdo. Maybe just be normal. Maybe just don't be a weird freak. It's these guys, man. They like have still synthesized that kind of like lifestyle, right? It's like, imagine this guy, imagine this dude that you're looking at, T new male. This guy right here. Now just imagine him in like a tweed petticoat, and that's like these new trad types. Like, this is gonna be so mean, but I'm gonna give you an actual example. This is going to be mean, but I am going to go here. I'm sorry. This is going to be mean. I warned you. I warned you, but we just got to call a spade a spade. Anonymous sent $3. Happy birthday, dude. Did you see the Vatican Bank's Morningstar Market Index? Are the companies in the index good to invest in as a Catholic? Gosh, man, that is a good question. I need to look at it, actually. They might be. I just haven't really devoted any time to it. I have a guy who covers all my stock stuff, so let me contact him and see about it, and I'll investigate the companies more. But it might be a good idea to invest. I just got to look. I just got to figure it out. But that's a great question, Anonymous. Let me look into that more. Maybe I can do an episode on that. Repose sent $20. Been out of the loop. Hope you've been well. God bless you, man. Hey, God bless you too, Repose. Thanks for coming in, man. It's great to see ya. Okay. So this guy's name's Michael Davies. Not Michael Davies. Michael Davies was the GOAT. Michael Davis. And he completely left Catholicism. You know, typical like gay Eastern Orthodox reason for doing so, right? Typical like gay EO, like, I was at a bad parish once, and that's why I left the church. Well, I believed Jewish propaganda about Pope Francis, and that's why I left the church. Do you see what I mean? I'm really not trying to be mean, bro, but like horned glasses. You know, like the beard makes him look less masculine. Like he almost looks better without as much facial hair. I mean, he almost looks like kind of better here than he does here, bro. Like, I mean, honestly, like, I'm not even trying to be a dick, but like both these guys, bro. Barrel-aged faith. Oh, brother. Barrel-aged faith, by the way. dude. Oh my good. Sorry, let me read the $2 super chat. Israel Jesuit shadow government, $2. What do you think of leftoid and rightoid haters saying Nick is illegitimate because he might be 5% native or Sicilian or something? They can fuck right off, man. These people are unserious, and they're unserious faggots about politics. Like, I've never taken people who speak that way seriously. It's like, show me your political movement, okay? I always love the people on Twitter that are like, Nick is a gay fed. Okay, show me your political movement, motherfucker. You don't have a movement. You're some gay guy who makes like lame slop content that you got from Candace Owens on Twitter. Let's take fucking stock for a moment. You're some guy who is like a verified account on Twitter who just farms engagement bait all day. You don't have a movement. You don't have motion. You're posting the same memes that would have been like funny 5 years ago, but are now out of date. So stay in your fucking lane and shut the fuck up, okay? Leave it to the actual guys who are in this fight and who are doing things and shaking politics. And that's Nick, dude. You don't have a movement behind you. So gay, man. I hate when guys talk like that. Oh gosh, barrel-aged faith. Oh, brother. We're not going to watch this whole thing. I just want to get a little taste.
My appearance on Pints know that I was a Satanist. It's not going to be atheism. It's not going to be liberal Christianity. It's going to be paganism. It would be kind of nice if the worst we had to contend with was atheism. It's very quickly becoming clear that after maybe 10 years where atheism was kind of the trendy thing for young people, it's immediately become paganism. And it's very, very common now to see, like witch talk, right? This is the future. I was at my barber shop the other day. My barber had Temple of Satan stickers all over his mirror. So we talked about that a little bit. He's just a young guy.
Dude, Mike said it in chat. Bro would not get a shareable. He would go to a trad chungus GK Chesterton convention based. Dude, Maximilian said in chat, yeah, we do things different around here. Our heresy's ingredients are locally sourced, barrel aged, and sustainable. As for the bill, that'll be 25% Hebrew ancestry. So true, Maximilian. That's so true. Dude, this is the final boss of, I mean, I just paused on a random frame and look what we're looking at. This is just bad, dude. Like, this kind of archetype, like, I'm not against being well-dressed. I'm not against wearing suits. I'm not against the bookshop. Like, dude, it's awesome that you read, right? It's awesome that you read. That's goated. I'm not against that. But it's like, do we have to put on this persona that's like so accurate? It's literally the image of Peter Griffin. It's the image, Aggie phenotype. Hey, Aggie is a king and you know it. Aggie is a freaking king. Around these parts, we only take respect for Aggie. Put some respect on his name, okay? He is a king. He is a goat. I'm just kidding. I know you're joking around. But he is a king. I love that guy. Fake Nick Land sent $5. Same B-Day month for the win. Happy birthday. Well, thank you, Fake Nick Land. I really appreciate that, bro. Oh, and then Mo Gummy sent $3. I'm expecting one of them to light a cigar and a swig of whiskey. Yeah, you know that's coming, dude. Also, I'm not much of a drinker, but I will say, if I'm gonna have some hard alcohol, vodka tonic, dude. Vodka is like S tier. It's that Charlie Sheen commercial with the cigarettes. Like, if you're drinking vodka, hold on. This is wrong song. This is vodka drinkers right here. Or I will also take wine as well. Wine is goated. I don't care if that sounds fruity. White wine, red wine. Dude, I was on a Lufthansa flight when I was going over to Rome. I was on the Lufthansa flight and I had the best white wine pairing of my entire life, dude. I felt like such an aristocrat. It was amazing. This is white culture right here. This is like excellent, like high class, like I'm building cities, I'm making deals, I'm a stockbroker. Like we want that kind of aristocratic culture. I mean, me and half Mexican, half Palestinian, when we were in Arizona, we drank wine, dude, and it was so goated. It's like, it just makes you feel like you're aspiring to higher things. It makes you feel like you're aspiring to higher projects and that you have like this kind of spirit of white excellence within you, right? Barrel-aged whiskey, I'm not trying to dog on people, but it's like, you know what you get with barrel-aged whiskey? This is what you get. Yeah, is the IPA hoppy? I don't know. That IPA sounds a little too hoppy for my taste. That sounds like it might be a little too. It's got hints of what is that? Is that oak? Is that oak in there? Stop. You're try hard, bro. Stop. That's country bumpkin juice. Amor said it in chat. That is country bumpkin juice. That is not white excellence. You're not building cities. You aren't planning the city. You're the construction worker building it. You are the construction worker beneath my feet building the city. That is for peasants, dude. We don't do peasantry around here anymore. We do white excellence. We do aristocratic thinking. That's what vodka is for mixed drinks. Not straight up. That's kind of low tier, but for mixed drinks, that's what vodka is, and straight up, that's what wine is. That's the mix. That's high class. That's thinking in a higher echelon, a higher tier. That's what we like to see.
You know, in his mid-20s, and he's very openly displaying his Satanism at his place.
Let's see here. Red over white wine. I don't know, dude. I do like white wine, actually. I do really, really like a good white wine. Whiskey is for the pioneer. These people are not pioneers. Yeah, that's true. Like, if you're going to be a rough, rugged man, live a rough, rugged lifestyle. These guys, like, sit on their ass all day doing some desk job. It's like, you're not, like, if you're going to sit and do a desk job, have a desk job drink. Like, I know what I am. I'm not out there breaking rocks, bro. I'm working at the desk. I'm going to have a desk job drink. That's just how it goes. Maximilian said, these guys would make any alcohol look gay, though. To be fair, whiskey is American coded. That's fair enough. I'm not even like dogging on like people drinking whiskey. A lot of my friends like whiskey. It's totally fair to drink whiskey. But I guess it's just like, I mean, Owen Johnson said it in chat. It's like, you know, they have a preferred beard oil and stuff like that. It's the kitsch cargo crate trad thing that we've talked about like a million times over. So I'm not trying to be mean. You know, I'm sure he's a nice enough guy or whatever, but it's like, can we be real? These people, there's a look and there's an archetype, and we need to kind of like break it. We need to get over it. This is like not bad in 1,000. That's like bottom of the barrel thinking, right? Like, homies are out here dressing like this. They're dressing like they're dressing the Peter Griffin look, and not like in an auriful way. It's like in a way that makes me think like you've got the build and the look of Peter in all the worst ways. You look like Peter Griffin, bro. You don't look cool. This commercial goes hard, bro. That song is good, dude. Wants and Needs by Jake Antonio. I gotta add that to Spotify later. DJ College is saying shit compilation. You know what? You know, look, I don't support Pakistan, but this kid's spirit. I know this is an old meme, but this is kind of classic, dude. The woman at the beginning of it, she's like, these are the students that will save Pakistan. Bro's talking about race mixing in chat. Look, dude. Hey, you guys are going to get mad. You guys are going to get mad, but we talked about this in chat. We talked about this in chat. Dude. You're going to race mix. There's only one way, bro. I'm sorry. I know this is a little too high of a red pill. I know this is a little too controversial. You need some every white boy. Listen, we all learned our scale that way, the music scale. Every good boy deserves fudge. And brother, I'm looking at a whole cake. I'm just saying. Dude. I know you guys don't agree. I know I am alone, but you have to find yourself a newbie queen. This Asian stuff, that is like, that is LARPy. Asian women are overrated, bro. Asian women are overrated. You have to find yourself a black queen. That's just it. That is the last threshold, man. That's the last red pill. Many do not want to admit this, but that's the last red pill. Dude, black women are just, they're built different, you know? They're built different. See, I see it running up in chat. I see it running up in chat. We agree. Yes, we agree, bro. Some of you boys have my back. You know what I'm talking about. And everyone's always like wanting to post those like, you know, Twitter rage bait videos of like the, you know, girl with the weave and she's like beating. I'm not talking that, bro. I'm not talking that. Okay, that's easily debunked. That is easy to straw man my argument. But you know, you went to school with them. You know who I'm talking about. Light-skinned baddie at the back of the class. All shy, all to herself. I'm just saying, you're missing out. Hey, more for me, I guess. You know, if you guys want to pass up, more for me.
We are one nation and we have one voice. What is our voice? Long live! Long live!
My pledge is to help people who need for like poor, people money and all this.
He is going to help the people in Pakistan. Great.
When I will grow up, I will be army and save Pakistan and destroy India.
Strong army. Whoa, great. I pledge to.
I'm sorry, dude. This is just getting me. Like, when I grow up, I'm going to do army and I'm going to... These kids are in the army now, LMAO. Actually, though, these kids probably are in the military, low-key. These kids probably are in the military. Then she says grape. Grape? Grape is not funny, dude. Okay? Grape is not... We don't make jokes about grape. We do not make jokes about... Hey! Look at me. We do not make jokes about grape. That is not funny. Stop laughing. That's not funny. Is what I would say, but it's funny. Sephardi Catalan sent $1. Plays the hardest Spencer rant ever and advocates mixing ice cream flavors the same stream. Just like every good white nationalist, man. Hey, I'm going by the playbook. You can't hate on a fella for going by the playbook.
Poverty and help the poor.
You're talking to a future U.S. Marine, dude. That Vine is so funny. I love that Vine. You're talking to a future U.S. Marine. You're talking to a future Army Sergeant.
That's great. I love Pakistan. I will sacrifice my life for Pakistan.
Fuck yeah, dude. Look at that kid's energy, dude. Look at that kid's energy. That's how every one of us needs to be. You can make fun of him because it's a little cringy or what have you. I don't give a fuck, dude. That kid has got spirit, okay? Let this kid cook. That kid, okay, you're laughing now. Be careful who you make fun of middle school. That kid is probably leading Pakistan's army. Bro's probably going to be the president in 5 years, dude. And you're going to look like a dummy for not believing in him when he was at this point. You didn't want to sign on when he was at his lowest. Now you can't have him when he's at his greatest, bro. I'm just saying. W Swing sent $10 when Candace said, quote, my back porch is 10 degrees hotter. We all knew what she was really talking about. Throw it back for a fella. We all knew what she was talking about. Good night, Sap. Good night, Maximilian. Love you, buddy. We all knew what she was talking about. Listen, we all saw Munch when it dropped, okay? We all saw Munch when it dropped, and we liked it. We liked it when Ice Spice dropped her first hit, okay? I might be talking about for myself, but everybody in this chat can admit that was pretty bad. Anaconda, okay, 13 years old and Anaconda comes out. You're telling me you don't feel a little something? We had a discussion about this on Twitter a long time ago, and listen, you can act all tough, you can act all hard, but we all know what was going on, okay? That back porch is 10 degrees hotter is all I'm saying.
My pledge to my country is that I will finish all corruption, and so we will prove to Pakistan is not less than any other country. Pakistan Zindabad!
Pakistan Zindabad!
I can't promise anything, but I'll do everything in my will to help Pakistan.
That's great.
I'll bring...
Typical woman, can't promise anything. Fickle, can't promise anything. Totally just, you know, fairy dust up here in the air. How can you depend on him? You can't. Sorry. Boys are holding it down. Per usual, men are holding it down. Men have to come to save the day. Per usual. Oh, Roman America sent $2. Every white guy needs a tall glass of chocolate milk every once in a while. See, my boy gets it. My boy gets it. Some of you homies tonight, you're dissing on me. You're pretending like you don't get what I'm saying, but you get what I'm saying, dude. Am I civnat or do I believe in ethnic cohesion? I would say I believe in ethnic cohesion. I think for America, like, I don't believe in an ethno-state for America because I think America has always been majority white, has always had a super majority of white people, and it should stay that way. But, you know, there's always been black people here. There's always been Hispanic people. There's always been like Asian people on like the West Coast or whatever. So I'm not a promoter of an ethno-state for America, but I do believe in the ethnic super majority of white people in America. For Europe, I do think that Europe should be an ethno-state. If you're not white, you're not European. It's just as simple as that, dude. It's not even being rude. It's not even being mean, but it's like, if I talk about a British person, we know I'm talking about a white person, right? Just like if I'm talking about an Ethiopian person, we know I'm talking about a black person. Just like if I say a Peruvian person, we all know I'm talking about a Hispanic person, right? You don't need to freak out about it. It's just the truth. And it's the way it should stay for those countries. For this country, it should always remain a white supermajority, but there's always been other races here that I'm not bothered by their presence or whatever here in this country. Pine Sap, will you shake that cake for birthday? I don't know, man. I mean, it's a lot of cake to shake. That's all I'm saying, you know? We all need a cake shake once in a while, and brother, I'm packing it in like a birthday sundae is all I'm saying. Chud sent $10. Happy birthday, Pine Sap. You weren't wrong when you said it only gets harder after becoming Catholic, which I've definitely experienced recently. Thanks for being a strong Catholic voice in the AF movement. God bless. Well, God bless you too, Chud. Thank you so much, man. And hey, I mean, even though it gets harder, man, like there is a grace in it, right? It will get better. As much as it gets harder, I think it also is more... I think it's more meaningful as you become Catholic for longer, right? It becomes more meaningful. It becomes more of a fixture of your life, and it becomes a more significant part of your life. And I think you'll start to experience that as time goes on, right? As time goes on, you'll experience it more and more and more, and it'll feel like a more intuitive part of your life. So I completely agree, man. It does get harder, but it's also more meaningful. It's also more sentimental. Doja Cat in that green alien makeup in that one video. Dude, I'm not even thinking about that video. But like when she was in Moo, I'm just saying.
Hey, yo, PP.
I'm just saying, bro. In that music video, that was crazy. Girl was doing some crazy things. We all know what we're talking about.
Hey, yo, PP poo poo check.
That was pretty good, Mike. Thanks for sending that, dude. Sap, how's my Lent going? Or Sap, how's your Lent going? It's going pretty good. I mean, I think I needed to get back to basics this year, and kind of like start back at kind of the source. And oh nah, Sap gotta go. Hey, dude, listen. But I wanted to get back to basics. I've been doing kind of some more simple things. I've been doing no coffee, no sweets. I'm trying to, of course, fasting on Fridays goes without saying. Although this Friday will be a little different because it's my birthday. I guess just trying to focus back on who's Lauryn Hill? Iggy Azalea? Yeah, she is pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. Sorry. I love how I'm trying to talk about like the seriousness of Lent with also just like talking about like, oh, and then this girl and then this. I'll lock in. But yeah, I mean, I basically wanted to just focus on sort of like rekindling my zeal for God, getting back to basics, kind of. I don't know, like in this period in my life, in this portion in my life, I've been kind of going through like weird, not existential, like I don't know what the truth is, but kind of existential in terms of like, where do I want my life to go? What do I want to do? What do I want to be? What do I want to build? What kind of legacy do I want to live and lead and leave? And I guess I've just been trying to kind of like focus more on like kind of living out my faith in the most basic way and getting back into that basic walk with God so that I can figure that out. Cause it's been tough, man. I mean, I don't know. I like when I graduated college and stuff like that, I kind of just figured that like everything would like lock in, and it did in a sense of like, I worked good jobs and stuff like that. And that was great. And, I was living like fairly comfortably or what have you, but I still just felt like very like spiritually kind of like aimless. Like I didn't really know like what I wanted the higher teleology of my life to be. And I'm still kind of trying to figure that out because I don't want to do like some like dead end kind of desk jockey thing. Right? Where I'm fine with working a job like that. Don't get me wrong. But what I mean is like, I don't want to be that guy, Greg, at the office. And Greg for 40 years just did the same thing in and out and never made a more significant impact on the world. I'm fine with working the normal job. That's not what bothers me. What bothers me is not leaving an impact. Not leaving this world better than when I found it, or living to the fullest extent, carpe diem, taking life for all that it's worth and living to the fullest. And that really has haunted me and kind of like kept me up at night thinking about, am I living to the fullest? Am I living in such a way that embraces that fullness of life? And that's why I've tried to like seriously lock in. I mean, no more being unhealthy, no more being aimless, no more wasting time on stupid shit. It's like, now's the time to be real about life, because if you're not real about life, you never will be. And you're going to wake up one day and you're going to be like 30, you're going to be 35, and you're going to feel like you wasted it all. I don't want to waste this time, man. You know, I really want to, by 30, I want to be married and have a kid. That's my goal, right? By 30, I want to be married and have a kid if that's my vocation. I'm always open to the priesthood or always open to monastic life. But if my vocation is to get married, that's where I want to be. And if I'm at that place, I know I have already set my life on the right track, right? And I think that on top of that, I want to live life in such a way that I make sure that I'm building something that will long live past myself, right? Long live past myself, whether that's a book, whether that is a political project, whether that's continuing to do this, but in a more significant and serious way. I still haven't figured that out yet. And I would really ask that you guys pray for me on that. But that's kind of what my Lent has been about, is just getting back to square one, just trying to figure out, like, what do I need to do to be able to live in a meaningful way that makes an impact larger than myself, but within the framework of living for God, right? Not anything outside of it, not anything for myself, but for Him. So I'm just trying to figure that out, you know? So, Pine Sap, you're on the track right now. You've already impacted many people. I came back to Catholicism and OCA because of you. That was all God, man, but I really appreciate that, man. And, you know, any little way that, you know, the streams or, you know, the content or what have you can help, that means the world to me. And that's what it's all about, man. Adam said, Pine Sap, lock in, brother. No more joking about black women. You need to find a real one. Okay, deal, bet. For real, you brought me back, Sap. Thank you. Well, like I said, man, it was all God. And it's tough because, like, how do I put this? You know those memes? I don't want to say meme. That's kind of a bad and sophomoric way to put it. You know those edits where it's like somebody isn't really saying a whole lot, like outwardly in a kind of exoteric way, they're not really expressing like what's going on up here. But then internally it's like they're seeing universes collide and they're seeing like all these things play out, like wars and kingdoms and civilizations, like, you know, raising up and dying and the movement of life and the world and history all coming to a head. That's kind of where I'm at a lot. But I'm at that way when, like, I talk to you guys and warn you guys about like spiritual pitfalls online. Because I'm very much going to level with you. I'm very worried for a lot of Catholics online. All the time. All the time. There are a lot of things that the devil uses online to pull you away from God. A lot. Some of it is very explicit. You know, it's things like, you know, being a gooner, you know, being a degenerate, you know, being a, just like some kind of freak, or like you only care about money. You know, it's like those guys who, it's like that, like gross looking, like, I don't know if he was like Jewish or whatever, but like that gross looking guy who was like bragging about having a labubu a couple months ago, like gross guys like that, you know, very like money driven, hustle culture, all that kind of stuff. And you should be driven to build something, but you shouldn't be in that kind of like hustle culture type thing. It's very satanic, right? That's very explicit though. It's easy to see that and see, okay, well that's greed, that's lust, that's all those gross stuff, right? But then there are subterfuges, there are sort of like things below the surface that we don't really see until oftentimes it's too late. Oftentimes until it's too late. I think that, for instance, like one of the reasons, like I don't think any Catholics leaving for Protestantism. That's honestly why I don't focus on Protestantism most of the time, because it's like a dying religion, right? It's a dying heresy. It's pretty much already dead. No Catholic is leaving for Protestantism, and so I barely talk about Protestants anymore because they're kind of irrelevant. It's like, how many times do I need to debunk sola scriptura before it's like people lock in and they get it? You know what I mean? It's like it's a redundant thing. I think Catholic apologists have covered it more than sufficiently. We don't need to kick the dead horse anymore. They're already on the way out. But the future of sort of our side of things, I'm not talking about the left. They are what they are, right? But sort of the larger right-wing cultural sphere is sort of the like fake Catholic counterculture. And when I say fake or not fake Catholic, let me find the words. The sort of oppositional culture to Catholicism that Con Inc. promotes. And I see it a lot. Like I think that's why like Eastern Orthodoxy has become popular. I'm gonna be very, very real. I think Eastern Orthodoxy is literally a Duginist project. I think it is a Duginist project. I think it's a lot of like Russian propaganda to basically get people under this kind of framework of believing in essentially a modern degenerative form of Caesaropapism. And what it tries to do is it tries to appeal to like people's sense of like wanting Christian tradition and wanting to go back in like Christian history, and takes them away from the inevitable conclusion of that, which would be to become Catholic. And they say, oh, look, Goy, look over here, Russian Orthodoxy. Oh, it's so based, and look at the chants and stuff like that. And it takes people's eyes away from Christ, and it takes them into this weird Duginist internet cargo crate internet religion. And I do think it's legitimately a project of like the Russian government, the Con Inc. slop right. I think like the NRX guys like Curtis Yarvin, because they know they can skin suit that religion way easier. You can't skin suit Catholicism. I'm sorry, you can't. You can try to, like Fat JD Vance has, but he's instantly like, how many times on the timeline do we make an ass out of JD Vance? JD Vance is like a fake asshole. Like you can tell immediately he's not authentic about being Catholic. He's not Catholic. And I'm sorry, like, you know, Thursday can complain all he wants about, no layperson has a right to judge another person. I am judging JD Vance. I do not think that JD Vance is Catholic. He is a fucking teal bot, dude. He is a product of teal. That's who JD Vance is. Right? JD Vance is a product of Peter Thiel. And you want to know the kind of man that Peter Thiel is? Let's see here. I've got the Teal clip. I just got to find it on my phone. I'm going to show you, let's see here. Yo, Pine Sep, can you respond in the Discord? We have you in, you Jewish sympathize, you Jews, what? Oh, you were saying that as a joke. I thought you were saying, I was like, what are you talking about, bro? Jew sympathizer, what? No, that's totally fine. I can totally do that. So this is Peter Thiel. This is JD Vance's best buddy. This is his mentor. This is his guy. This is your fucking guy, dude. This is your guy. This is JD Vance's guy. This is his mentor. This is who sent him to Yale. This is his. You know whose fucking boy JD Vance is? Peter Thiel. They're best buddies, and JD Vance is Peter Thiel's boy. He's the house boy for Peter Thiel. That's what he is.
Christianity, the main religion of the Western world, it always takes the side of the victim, and there's something where it is like some kind of deformation or intensification, and maybe you should think of wokeness as ultra Christianity or hyper Christianity. It's just like an extreme intensification, and it's maybe there's no forgiveness, and so it's sort of it's you still have original sin, and you have all these bad things that happened in the past. The past is terrible, and you can never overcome it. But there surely is a religious interpretation that this is sort of what happened is. As let's say the church lost a certain amount of authority, but people didn't become, rationalist atheist people. They went into this sort of woke religion, which has to be which I would interpret as a certain extreme form of Christianity.
This is his boy. This is his dude. There's another clip I want to find specifically where he talks about Catholicism. Let me see if I can find it. If not, that's okay, but... Houseboy Vance. He really is the houseboy for him, dude. No, JD Vance does not stand for Jorkin to penis. Glad we could clear that one up. JD Vance is just such a lame cocksucker, though, dude. Here's the thing I need to express to you guys. When election season does come up, you are going to have people who are going to try to convince you to vote for Vance. You're going to have Catholic people that are going to try and convince you to vote for Vance. Do not fucking listen to them. They're going to be like, dude, no, we can't let the Democrats win, bro. No, dude, we can't let the Democrats win. And I hope he's not the front runner, but it's like, if he is, I'm not voting for him. Fuck him. Never Vance, dude. I don't care if Newsom wins. A Newsom victory is better than a Vance victory. I am going to go so far as to say that. Should we pray for Teal? We should always pray for our enemies, of course. We have to punish Vance, dude. And you're going to have... I'm going to be very harsh. You're going to have some Goyim Catholics. You're going to have some absolute goys. Some absolute goys who happen to be Catholic who are going to try and convince you to vote, who are going to try and convince you to vote for JD Vance. They are complete fucking goyim. Not because they're Catholic. There's no connection between those two. But they happen to be Catholic and they're just complete fucking goys. And they're going to try and be like, Vance is like the anti-abortion candidate. No, he's not. He supported abortion pills. He upholds the church's teaching on marriage. No, he said on Joe Rogan's podcast, we want the vote of the normal gays. Nothing about this dude is fucking real, dude. Oh, but his confirmation saint is St. Augustine. Do you think that this Teal lab-grown piece of shit is honest? about anything he believes? I don't think he is. That's why I don't believe in his faith. I think it was completely a political stunt. Peter Thiel, I will give Thiel this credit. Thiel is not dumb. He knows where the culture's blowing, and it's why he has tried to attack the Catholic Church multiple times. It's why he's funding Hollow. It's why he's trying to, get in well with Opus Dei and making inroads there. He is trying to influence this uptick in Catholicism. We can't let him do that. And if that means punishing Vance, we have to do that. He attended a pro-life rally. If you are such a dumb goy that you're convinced by that, I can't help you, dude. You are not going to survive for what's coming. What's coming down the turnpike is bad. And if Vance wins, it's going to be a technocracy that kills people like you and I. Newsom's not great. I'm not, I'm Newsom 28 ironically, but not actually. But like a Palantir technocracy under Vance is going to be a million times fucking worse than anything that Newsom is going to do as like some retarded Democrat. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. You have to think more meta here. You can't just think, oh, Vance showed up to the pro-life rally, so he's pro-life. He's not. We've already debunked that. We've already disproven that. He literally is being mentored by his best boy. His best mentor is a homosexual who hates Catholicism, dude. It can't get much worse than that. This is JD Vance.
Definitionally, when you invite people in the country to come in saying they hate Jews, you can't expect them to stop hating Jews the minute they cross the threshold of American territory.
Nice. Awesome.
Thank you.
Yep, you ready to get arrested on anti-Semitism charges when he gets in power? You ready for that? Is that going to be awesome? When you just state what basic church teaching is, and Catholic JD Vance, by the way, arrests you for literally just stating what church teaching is on Judaism. Mo Gummy sent $3. He said, do you think these teal types will use Catholic converts to push some kind of, that's blanked out, agenda? Saw the sentiment among some groypers on the topic of Shia LaBeouf. Remember, Vance wouldn't even kiss the papal ring. I think they're going to try to do something. My honest guess, though, is they're going to become frustrated and similar to like Curtis Yarvin, because Curtis Yarvin's converting to Eastern Orthodoxy. I think that's going to be the next move. I really think there is going to be like, they're going to try and use probably like Eastern Orthodoxy or some equivalent kind of like cargo crate religion to be like, Eastern Orthodoxy is actually the true based religion, goy, and you shouldn't I don't know, something to the effect of like, you shouldn't countersignal it because that's not based in red-pilled and right-wing, right? That's basically going to be the narrative that they try to sell. That's going to be the narrative that they try to sell you. Because here's the thing, it's like, there's cringe Catholic people and there's Catholic people with bad political takes or what have you, but you can't corrupt the faith itself. The faith is indefinite. It is always going to survive no matter what the world throws at the mystical body of Christ. Eastern Orthodoxy is false. It was corrupted by the Russians and the Greeks, by the CIA corrupting it through the Greeks and the KGB corrupting it through the Russians. It's easily manipulatable, right? It's so easy to manipulate that cargo crate religion. So I could see them promoting that as kind of like a contrary path for people looking into apostolic Christianity, which is just the Catholic faith, and trying to divert their path to this like false religion, right? I can totally see that being the move, man. It's more easy. It's very easily manipulated. And the other path too that I was kind of talking about earlier, in terms of being like worried for the future, or worried for Catholics online, people are really starting to try and promote perennialism. They're really trying to shill perennialism. Do you notice that? Dude, don't go to church, man. Don't go to mass. Bro, you saw what happened with Sarah Stock? You can't trust Catholics. You can't trust Catholics, man. You saw what happened. Catholics are hypocrites and they're liars. Dude, read Evola. Read Nietzsche. Read Rene Guénon. Don't go to mass. Don't go to church. Look at how false. Look at how hypocritical they are and how they're not based and they're not cool. They're not cool, dude. Don't go to church because they're not cool. They're lame. I think that will become the biggest threat. I think that will become the biggest threat. I really, really do. Perennialism is the Antichrist's religion. It is right-wing universalism. If every religion is true and has some secret tradition we have to tap into, then no religion is true. When you are a perennialist, you are worshiping Satan. You are worshiping the father of lies. No, there's not multiple traditions that course through different religions. There is one faith, one baptism, one Lord, and that's Jesus Christ. And you will get these guys, I mark my words, maybe even some of them will call themselves Catholic. Maybe some of them will even call themselves Catholic. And they'll start weaving, oh, dude, no, perennialism's not anti-Catholic, man. No, dude, it's not anti-Catholic. Dude, you can do magic. You can do esotericism as a Catholic. That's perfectly fine. Bro, tarot cards, that's okay. It's neo-Gnosticism, and they are going to try to get you to believe in it. And I hate to say it, there are a lot of people on the right wing who already do and are already convinced by it. Do not join their ranks. Do not fall for their lies. They will mislead your soul and they will send you to hell. And it will not be good. I don't want that for any single person, but you got to be on guard for it, man, because I tell you what, they're really going to try and pump it up. And the reason they're going to try to pump it up is there's a quote that I want us to actually to read together. And then I do got to get going. I still got to eat dinner. I know it's like 10 here, but I'm hungry. Let's see here. I'm finding it. Okay, I think I found it. Ironically, this article is about our favorite evil Jew Bronze Age pervert, so that's great. Can't stand that guy. That guy's a fucking freak. $2 from Anonymous. Is Clavicular Catholic? He said he was. I think he is. I would love to see him live it in a more explicit way, but I think he is, which that's a W. That's very good. This is from our Holy Father, Pope Benedict. Let's see here. The thought of Socrates. Excuse me. The thought of Socrates, who is pious and critical at the same time, had in its own way the effect of unveiling the illusory character of the gods. Today we face the opposite movement of the human mind. Modern thought wants to acknowledge the truth of being, but wants to acquire power over being. It wants to reshape the world according to its own needs and desires. With this orientation, not to the truth, but to power, we no doubt touch on the true problem of the present time. Here's the thing, man. I always say this to you guys. If nothing else, remember this that I tell you. That is the fight between our time. It's between truth and power. And I think I said that a long time ago and people didn't understand what I like tweeted out about it. And they're like, we need to acquire power to win. I know, dumbass. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking, when I say between truth and power, I'm not saying we don't acquire political power or it's wrong to, I'm not talking that kind of power. But what you have to understand is that, you know, this sort of right-wing fascination with Nietzsche, this right-wing fascination with Gnosticism, esotericism, perennialism, it's that fight. It's between truth and it's between power. If these men were pursuing truth, they would be Catholic. If these men were pursuing truth, they would become Catholic and they would believe in Catholicism. They don't. They believe in power. And so for them, anything that represents power is what they want to believe in. And what power is in this world is making your own morality. You see it with these guys like Captive Dreamer and BAP and all these dudes. All they believe in, they don't believe in anything. They don't believe in God. They don't believe in Jesus Christ. They hate him. They hate our Lord. All they believe in is this vague acquisition of all the kingdoms of this world at any cost, at the sacrifice of truth. So that's why they're fit and fiddle with the GOP. That's why they want to support them. That's why they want to throw their weight behind them. But it goes even deeper than them because they're just shills. They don't really even matter at the end of the day. There are other people on the right who are Nietzschean, who are perennialists, who are occultists, and they always, whenever you confront them about it, they say, Christianity is so LARPy, and look at how, I went to Catholic Mass, and I went to the TLM Parish, and everyone there was like a lame gay nerd. I'll be blunt with you. I don't care if for every parish I went to for the rest of my life, it was full of a bunch of those new trad tweed suit wearing guys at every single Mass. I'm not Catholic because of them. Nor would I not be Catholic because of them. I'm Catholic because it's true. I'm Catholic because this is the truth. Because Jesus Christ is the way and the truth and the life. That's why I'm Catholic. I don't care if every Catholic to the end of time that I interacted with was a nerd, or dorky, or overweight, or too skinny, or what have you. I'm in this because it's real. I believe in Jesus Christ because he is real. And I don't let other people or perceptions or aesthetics or all these other things affect my real belief in the faith. These people live in a shallow world. And it's why they are going to die a shallow death. You won't be the overmen. You won't be the Ubermensch. When you're on your deathbed, strapped to hospital equipment, and every breath is like rolling a boulder up a hill. You are going to be old. You are going to be sick, and you are going to die. And all your talk of power and all your talk of the fascination with the things of this world will be for naught. You and I, when we die, are going to meet the same God because there is one God, Jesus Christ. I don't care that you don't believe in him. I don't care if you say it's a Jewish superstition. You are going to meet the same God when you die, as I will. And I pray to God with all of my heart that you repent before that time comes. Because if you do not, he who all power on heaven and earth is given to him will not let you into eternal life and into eternal grace. This is the fight of our time. And this is what I'm very worried about on the right, because I see it, dude. I have my ear to the ground. I see it. You know, people, oh, Christianity's so LARPy and those people are lame. That's not cool. That's not cool. I'm going to be Nietzschean. I'm going to be a degenerate. I'm going to read Nietzsche. I'm going to be a perennialist and try to acquire power through knowledge of magic and rituals and all this stuff. That shit is going to drag you straight to hell, man. That will drag you straight to hell. No joke. You got to cut that shit out, man. It's going to kill you spiritually. And you're not going to know what happened until it's too late. Stand up for truth. Right? I'm not saying that like looking your best or aesthetics or what have you. I'm not saying that those things aren't important at all. They do have some level of importance. But truth is what matters. And these people are going to try and use our language, our side, being on our side of the aisle, the sort of predicament we find ourselves in this time to try and get you to stop focusing on truth and only see power. You got to reject them with your full heart, man. And you got to be focused on the will of God. He's got to increase and you have to decrease because he's the only thing that's going to get you out of this. And I think at my heart, that's why I'm worried about the future of the right wing. Because I really see it as the final confrontation. It's going to be between this side that is only about perennialism, Nietzschean thought, all this kind of stuff, and Catholicism. That's what it's going to come down to. And if you're not on Team Catholic, you will not be a part of the final victory. You're going to lose. You're going to lose something worse than a political defeat. You're going to lose your soul. Be sure that you're attending to your soul and that you're placing it in the hands of God. If you do that, you've got everything, man. You don't have anything to worry about. But if you don't have that, it's all over no matter what you do. So, with that, my friends, to leave on a happy note, thank you guys so much for such an awesome birthday stream. It was awesome. I appreciate all the kind words, the donations, the funny jokes, the funny times we had. It was awesome, man. I really appreciate you guys. And I love getting to do this with you. Be looking out for, I'm going to try and get the video done. You know, hopefully I'll try getting the video done. And most especially I'll do the stream on Buddhism, the stream where we review that one anime about Buddha and stuff like that. So we're going to cover that. It's going to be a good stream. That'll be on Rumble though, because I don't want to get copyright strikes. So we'll watch the entire documentary over there. It'll be super, super fun, dude. I'm really excited for that. I think we'll have a lot of good insights and all that, but needless to say, God bless you guys. I love you all and have an excellent, excellent